perhaps one dozen, follows Aaron Pryor into the ring. They call him the Hawk. I call him the Cincinnati Cyclone. Whether he is a storm that has blown out is yet to be seen. But he certainly has the flash he once did, and a few more pounds.
And look at the movement in those legs, Randy.
Harold, I want to see the movement in the legs. If he gets hit in what I looks to be a rather flabby midsection. I've never seen Pryor's midsection looking so soft.
Well, I don't know about that, Randy, but I'll tell you this much. He certainly seems to have the motion, and I don't know. Look at that, Randy. He's fast hands motion, the bobbing and weaving style. The reason Aaron Pryor was able to keep his hands down to the sides the way he did was because he always moved his head and never could get a good shot at him.
Well, as I said earlier, this is a star-studded crowd. Actor, one of the greats of all time, Ernest Borgnine on hand. Hector Macho Camacho is here, hoping Aaron Pryor wins. He'd like to climb in the ring with Pryor. Alexis Arguello is on hand just to watch the man who beat him twice.
The former WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Trevor Berbick, is here. They got celebrity after celebrity. It's amazing. Tremendous crowd.
Pryor is psyched as we've ever seen him.
Referee Bernie Soto is now putting on the latex gloves that are mandatory here in Florida.
There you see the record of Aaron Pryor. Came out of the amateurs with 204 wins, 16 losses. He turned professional after he failed to make the Olympic team in 1976 when he lost to Howard Davis Jr. He came back. He couldn't even get a job. He decided, let me go pro, and here he is today. Here's the tail of the tape. Aaron Pryor older. Bobby Joe Young a bit taller. He's got a longer reach. And he's going to have to use that reach, I believe, if he wants to win the fight tonight. He's got a longer reach. You see, that's the historical reach. When it comes to what I call the Randy's reach, just their jabbing arms, Harold, they've got the identical reach, 29 inches. I believe if they stood in front of each other, they can hit each other at the same time. Let's go up to ring announcer Alan Tour and get this one going.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'd like you to meet the three-time world champion in both the featherweight, lightweight, and junior lightweight. I'm speaking of none other but the former champion of the world 3 times over, Alexis Arguello.
One of the greats of all time stepped into the ring now, Alexis Arguello, shaking hands with the man who beat him on 2 occasions. The two have become friends since that night. And now Alexis, who once held the featherweight title, junior lightweight title, and lightweight title, goes over to the other corner and steps out of the ring. One of the most popular fighters, one of the greatest fighters, I think, of all time.
Beautiful Sunrise Musical Theater here in Sunrise, Florida. We present the return of the Hawk. This is a Walter Alvarez production, and his matchmaker, Mr. Frankie Otero. These bouts are sanctioned by the Florida Athletic Commission.
Harold,
Aaron Pryor just hit Tommy Parks. Aaron Pryor hit Tommy Parks with a right hand.
Executive Director
They pulled Pryor off.
is Harry Brennan.
Parks doesn't seem to be hurt. Bobby Joe stayed in the corner with Vince Giantomasi and Bob Ross in second, and it's turned into havoc.
A member of the commission just came over to Aaron Pryor, pointed in his face, and said, "You will be fined for that."
Very, very poor sportsmanship, Randy. I tell you, I wasn't impressed with that at all.
And Dr. Larry Rosenbaum. And your timekeeper, Mr. Bill Ouimet. Counting for the knockdowns, Mr. Bill Connor. Your referee for this scheduled 10-round bout in the welterweight division, Mr. Bernie Soto. And now, ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for boxing history as it's fight time. This is the main bout of the evening, scheduled for 10 rounds in the welterweight division. First introducing, in the blue corner, this gentleman tipped the Toledos at 146 1/4 pounds from Steubenville, Ohio, now residing in Jersey City, New Jersey. He has a professional record of 29 wins, just 5 defeats, with 22 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Bobby Joe Young.
The opponent, Bobby Joe Young, smattering of boos, mostly applause, though.
Fighting out of the red corner. He tipped in at an even 148 pounds. From Cincinnati, Ohio, now making his home in Miami, Florida, this young man is undefeated in 36 professional bouts, 32 by knockout. He's the former WBA and IBF junior welterweight champion. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Hawk, Aaron Pryor. Pryor, 10 rounds, welterweight.
Randy, referee Bernie Soto is calling both fighters into the middle of the ring. Randy, in that altercation, Don Elbaum, who's helping out promoter Walter Alvarez, jumped in to break it up, and Vince Giantomasi was in Bobby Joe Young's corner. But Tommy Parks is not a well man, and I want to tell you, something like that could have caused serious injury. I don't know why Pryor went over and hit Tommy Parks, but I wasn't impressed by that at all.
There's the bell. And Pryor doing what he always does, coming straight across. And he had Bobby Joe. I don't know if he hurt him or just caught him off balance, but Bobby looked hurt for a moment. Bobby very tight.
I don't think so, Randy. I think Bobby just is starting slowly and seeing what Aaron's got.
Very tight is Bobby, though. Doesn't look to have broken a great sweat. Aaron Pryor, on the other hand, soaking wet.
Absolutely. Aaron really warmed up in the dressing room. As a matter of fact, he was sweating so badly they had to towel him down. He was soaking wet when he came into the ring.
Bobby Joe does not have the fastest hands in the world. Takes a right uppercut to the chin, but he's got power in both fists. Right cross and a left hook. Bobby Joe will get hit.
Aaron, a nice right hand to the body. And Bobby Joe stings him with a left jab.
Aaron Pryor at his best. A much better defensive fighter than he was ever given credit for being.
He's moving his head like he always did. You know, bobbing, weaving, very elusive target. He's just, you know, he's so elusive. He's circling to his left. He goes up, he goes down. He's constant motion. Bobby Joe's starting to take the fight to Aaron, and Aaron is circling away out of harm's reach.
Are you surprised he's backing up, Harold?
No, not at all. He didn't really back up. What he did was he circled to the left. He's done that very often in many of his fights. He likes to get on his bicycle, so to speak.
Midway through the opening round.
Oh, a tremendous right hand shot there in Pryor. Solid shot, Randy.
There's a minute 15 to go in the opening round. Pryor looks in big trouble.
We said Bobby Joe could whack with the right hand. He showed it to us. Now he throws 2 left hooks and another right hand. Aaron is hurt.
1 minute to go. Opening round.
Bernie Soto looking at Aaron Pryor very, very closely. Bernie Soto, an experienced referee who just worked the world title fight between Juan Taggi and Patricio Oliva.
Pryor jumped in with a sneak right hand, which put Bobby Joe on the cheek. He took the punch well. Aaron's eyes are glassy.
And Bobby Joe looking to get even with Aaron Pryor for hitting a second. And I want to tell you, he really hurt Aaron with that right hand. Bobby Joe has jumped all over Aaron, and Aaron tries to tie him up. Bobby Joe lands another hard right hand.
About 30 seconds to go in the opening round. Larry McCall in the past has dropped Bobby Joe Young and a few other guys. Aaron Pryor has been down in the first round a few times by DeJuan Johnson.
Well, he was also dropped by Akio Kameda, but that was a flash knockdown.
10 seconds to go. Under 10 seconds. Opening round. Bobby Joe leaning into his shots now. What a first round you just saw in the comeback after 2.5 years away of the man you're looking at, Aaron the Hawk Pryor.
Randy, they brought in Eddie Aliano from Philadelphia to work the cut for Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor's left eye is swollen, and they're putting the end swell on it.
Here's the action of that knockdown. Boom, a big right hand. Bobby Joe whistled it over the top, right over the low-held left hand of Aaron Pryor, and down he goes. It was in a title defense against Duan Johnson in November of 1981 that Aaron was down twice in the first round and in big trouble. He came back to stop Johnson in round number 7.
The late Duan Johnson, Randy.
Round number 2. A slight swelling underneath the left eye of Aaron Pryor, who moves forward and right at Bobby Joe Young, who plants a hard right to the rather soft midsection of the blown-up Aaron Pryor. A natural lightweight, fought junior welterweight for all of his career.
Randy, you know, like we said before the fight, maybe Aaron Pryor took too tough an opponent for a comeback fight. Bobby Joe Young really showed us that he can punch. There's no question. He started out the first round by feeling out Pryor. He's feeling out Pryor at the start of this round, and he unloaded with that right hand. He hurt Aaron. Aaron's showing him a lot of respect. Aaron's keeping his distance so far. There's no question. Pryor seems to be hurt again.
Aaron slipped, but then when he got up, he got nailed with a shot. I'm not sure if his gloves touched the canvas, but I do think the referee should have wiped them off anyway, just to be sure, so there's no particles of rosin or dust on them.
Bobby Joe landed an accidental low blow, but certainly unintentional. But Aaron Pryor is showing Bobby Joe Young a lot of respect. Bobby Joe moving forward. Bobby Joe with a good solid left jab. And Aaron hasn't done much in the second round at all.
Aaron taking some deep breaths.
Oh, another solid right hand by Bobby Joe Young. Bobby Joe taking it right to the hawk. Bobby Joe is all over Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor bleeding from the nose, Randy.
Well, I guess that tissue in the nose is not as strong as it once was.
That's it.
Aaron Pryor's eyes are clear. He fought most of that first round with his eyes staying tilt after getting knocked down by a hard right hand.
Another right. Bobby Joe has really found the range with his right hand. Bobby Joe just, he can't seem to miss Aaron with that right hand. He's loading up with right hands and landing good, solid right hands, Randy. He's tagging him constantly.
Harold, Bobby Joe is not afraid to make war. We talked about the Kevin Howard fight. That's his personal thriller in Manila. That in March of 1982, he lost a 10-round decision. And then, in July of 1983, he knocked out Darrell Chambers, then unbeaten, and on his way up, knocked him out in the 9th round. But for the first 4 rounds of the fight, Bobby Joe was hammered.
Well, you know he can come back. You know he can punch. He's in tremendous condition at 146. Look at those shots. Aaron is hurt again.
Every one hard. Lower right of your screen, you see the time remaining in round 2. This is scheduled for 10. Don't expect it to go the distance. Aaron checks himself for a cut as the heads, I believe, came together. Final seconds of round number 2. This is round number 3, scheduled for 10 rounds. Aaron Pryor on the right of your screen, the white trunks, black stripes, against the opponent tonight, Bobby Joe Young, and so far, Harold Letterman, it has been the opponent's fight.
No doubt about it, Randy. Randy, interestingly enough, Eddie Aliano, the cut man, at the end of the second round, moved inside the ring so that he could work right in front of Aaron Pryor and worked with a swab on the inside of Pryor's nose. Pryor's been bleeding from the nose. Pryor starting to come on, putting a little bit of pressure on Bobby Joe, but Bobby Joe, look at the land, that big right hand, and there it is.
Bobby Joe not unmarked, a swelling beneath his left eye now, and that looks like it could be a problem should this fight go into the later rounds.
Pryor starting to pressure. Bobby Joe forces him into the ring, into the ropes. As a matter of fact, he forced him through the ropes. The ropes are a little bit loose, Randy.
This is about an 18-foot ring. But neither guy is using any of the real estate in there. Pryor with a nifty little move.
You know, he used that walk-away move, the Jersey Joe walk-away move. He walked away and then threw a right.
Hard right hand to the face by Aaron Pryor, and the swelling we mentioned underneath the left eye of Bobby Joe is getting bigger.
Aaron leaves himself wide open, but keeps moving his head so you don't get a good shot at him.
Referee Bernie Soto had to warn Aaron Pryor about grabbing behind the head. Bobby Joe coming in to make war with Aaron, but Aaron wants to move and then jump in with counter shots.
That's right. What Aaron's doing is he's moving inside, landing 2, 3, 4 shots and getting out.
Harold, I've always thought that Aaron at his best was always underrated as a boxer, much the way Roberto Duran was underrated as a boxer.
Well, I'll tell you, he certainly was never underrated as an aggressive fighter, and that's what he's doing in this fight. He's all aggression. You know, he moves in, bam, 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 and out.
1 minute to go, round number 3.
Bobby Joe's having a hard time finding Aaron in the third round, Randy. He's missing a lot of jabs. Aaron is the elusive fighter that he used to be. He seems to be able to avoid a lot of Bobby Joe's shots in this round.
Harold, do you think the longer this fight goes, Aaron will start shedding the ring rust?
Well, this is what we're going to see because, you know, we're into the third round already. If he had any ring rust, it should be gone by now.
30 seconds to go in round number 3. I'm Randy Gordon along with Harold Letterman. You're watching a good one. Aaron Pryor on the left against Bobby Joe Young.
A solid left hook by the Hawk. For some reason, Aaron Pryor looked over at the referee, Bernie Soto. I don't know what he had on his mind, but...
And so winds down another exciting round.
You can feel it.
Of a much-anticipated fight, especially in the last week, when interest has really picked up. Writers from all over the country have come in for this one. Aaron Pryor and Bobby Joe Young. Harold Letterman, let's take a look at your scorecard.
Well, Randy, I've got a 29-27 in favor of Bobby Joe Young. I gave him the first 2 rounds. I give the third round to Aaron Pryor. Certainly 10-8 for Bobby Joe Young in the first round. Close to 10-8 in the second round, to tell you the truth. But I scored a 10-9 in favor of Bobby Joe Young. In the third round, 10-9 for Aaron Pryor. Pryor is trying to take control of the fight, but every time he moves inside, he gets tagged by a left jab. Now Bobby Joe Young slipped. Aaron jumped all over him, but that was a slip. Referee Bernie Soto signaled no knockdown.
Well, that was a psych maneuver on the part of Aaron Pryor. He wants Bobby Joe to see that he's starting to come on, and indeed he is.
Bobby Joe is showing Aaron a lot of respect. Aaron's moving inside, landing his combinations and getting out.
You just saw Bobby Joe stick out 2 jabs and miss each one by about 5, 6, maybe 7 inches.
And everybody's yelling Hawk time, Randy.
Well, the corner of Aaron Pryor doesn't say Hawk time anymore. They say General New Hawk. They say he's the New Hawk, he's the leader, he's their general.
And Aaron has shown us a lot of motion, bobbing, weaving, circling, you know, moving his head, just being elusive. Fast, aggressive.
Something for Aaron Pryor never changed. He's still got the big entourage. Don Elbaum is still around as his advisor, as he has been since day 1. Buddy LaRosa, though, is on hand. Buddy LaRosa, his ex-manager, just came by to wish him luck. 1:15 to go.
Nice
round
right
number 4.
hand by Aaron Pryor. Bobby Joe, somehow or another, in this round was showing Aaron a little bit too much respect. He's not taking the fight to Aaron. While he was landing the big right hands in rounds 1 and 2, in the third and fourth, he's getting tagged too many times. Bobby Joe got tagged with another right hand.
And Bobby Joe is also disdained the body shots. He said he'd be dropping those right hands to Aaron's soft body as compared to what he was a few years ago.
Another
anyway.
hard right hand by Aaron Pryor. Aaron's getting the better of it on the inside, Randy. He moves inside and he gets the better. He lays the better shots. There's 2 good punches by Bobby Joe Young.
And Harold Letterman, I got to agree with you. Aaron Pryor starting to come on a bit. And Bobby Joe Young on the right of your screen starting to show a little bit too much respect for Aaron Pryor, allowing him to get back into this fight. The round is wearing down. This is a hot one. Don't go. Round number 5. A lot of people thought it would not go this long. Bobby Joe Young in the white trunks with the red stripes. It went, the better chance he'd have.
And the Hawk comes in and scores with a good left hook to start off the 5th round. Another right here by Pryor. Pryor's movement seems to have Bobby Joe Young befuddled. I mean, Bobby Joe it's like he's punching at air, you know? He's chasing Pryor around the ring. Pryor's going side to side, changing direction, and Bobby Joe's having a hard time keeping up with him. Aaron just landed a nice right hand that sent Bobby Joe reeling into the ropes off balance. Aaron basically circles to his left, but every so often he comes back to his right. He, you know, keeps moving his head. It's unbelievable. He's got that constant motion.
Well, he's got that upper body feint the way a football player would do as he's trying to get around a defender, and he's really confusing Bobby Joe as he's doing it.
Exactly, Randy. Aaron just landed another solid right uppercut, and when Bobby Joe moved inside, Aaron tied him up. The Hawk seems to be in control at this point. And Bobby Joe, you notice Bobby Joe comes flying in off balance, chasing Aaron. He's not really balanced. He's not set.
Eddie Aliano, I call him the Clot, one of the best cut men in the business, if not the best cut man, has stopped the flow of blood from the nose of Aaron Pryor. Although I do see now a speck of blood on the left cheek of the Hawk.
That's coming from the nose, Randy. He's had that bloody nose ever since the fight started, but Bobby Joe's left eye is very, very swollen.
Although it's not bleeding now as heavy as it was early on. As far as speed is concerned, Bobby Joe is not in the same league as Aaron Pryor. The power department, Bobby Joe appears to have a slight edge.
And Bobby Joe, for some reason, you know, he wants to go toe-to-toe with Pryor. He wants to get in on the inside, and every time he does, Aaron out-punches him.
That's that hand speed. It was just as Bobby walks in, Aaron lands a 1-2.
Aaron Pryor just shoved Bobby Joe Young off with an elbow, which is really illegal, but he got away with it. It'll be interesting to see if, you know, as we move into the last half of the fight, if Aaron Pryor will have lost any of his speed or if he will be able to keep up this perpetual motion.
You wonder if he can keep up the perpetual motion, as you say, Harold, especially after being off 2.5 years and having the severe drug problem he's admitted that he has had. Another round comes to a close.
Stop putting them together now.
We're back in the Sunrise Musical Center in Sunrise, Florida. We're in the corner of Aaron Pryor. Let's listen. Maybe we can pick up something. In front of him is Craig Gibson, his trainer. Taking a look at some action from last round.
Well, Randy, you see, Aaron Pryor's always moving his head. He's just perpetual motion. Very, very hard to get a good shot at him.
The bell just rang, but through the roar of the crowd, nobody heard it. The referee did and had to wave them on. It's round number 6. Harold Letterman, your scorecard.
Well, Randy, I've got it all even. I've got it 47 points apiece. I've got it 3 rounds to 2 in favor of Aaron Pryor. I just think that Bobby Joe Young is too off balance. I think he's got to come in flat-footed, and he's got to land some power shots and stop Aaron Pryor like he did in the first 2 rounds, and he's not doing it. I think that when Aaron moves in, he seems to get the harder punches in. He comes in with good right hands. Bobby Joe Young stunned him. Just as I said that, Bobby Joe Young stunned him. Without question, Bobby Joe hurt him with a left-right combination.
As I check my scorecard, I agree with you, Harold. 47 points apiece. Aaron just stuck his tongue out at Bobby Joe. He'd be better off sticking out the jab, Harold, keeping that tongue in his mouth.
Bobby Joe is really starting to find the range with the left jab. Now notice Bobby Joe's gone flat-footed, Randy. Good power behind his punches. Good solid right hand by Bobby Joe.
But Aaron turns him around and comes back with a right to the body. Bobby Joe looked to have picked it off on his left hand.
Randy, Bobby Joe Young's left eye is really getting bad. I mean, it's badly swollen below the left eye.
Well, that's the eye that in the Kevin Howard fight back in '82 that was just a slit
That's correct.
And Aaron sees it, and Aaron is aiming right at it with the left jab.
And so far, Bobby Joe is fought flat-footed. He's moved in nicely. Aaron's not moving. I mean, you know, a lot of the motion is gone in the 6th round. Bobby Joe just hit Aaron behind the head, but, you know, Aaron turns away, so you can't help landing a rabbit punch. You know, it's sort of when he turns away, you throw a punch and you hit him behind the head. Bernie warned Bobby Joe for landing a rabbit punch.
About 15, 20 seconds ago, the cocky Aaron Pryor looked over at Harold Lederman and yours truly and smiled.
Good, solid left hook to the body by Bobby Joe Young. Bobby Joe Young is having a good 6th round. And like we said, you got to wonder if Aaron can go 10 rounds, you know, with the same motion and the same speed that he showed us through rounds 3, 4, and 5.
I just don't see the same concentration on Pryor as I saw when he fought Alexis Arguello 2 times. But I guess that was one of those nights when concentration could not have been any higher.
Bobby Joe is taking the fight to Aaron in this round. The only thing is he's not busy enough. If Bobby Joe would get a little bit busier, he possibly could end this fight.
Bobby Joe now wearing a swelling underneath the right eye as well as his left eye. There's about 10 seconds to go in round number 6 in what has been a much better round for Bobby Joe after 3 bad rounds in a row. We're back for round number 7 from the Sunrise Musical Theater in Sunrise, Florida. It's the comeback of Aaron Pryor against Bobby Joe Young. Aaron Pryor with his back to you now on the left of the screen with the black stripes on his shorts. I'm Randy Gordon along with Harold Lederman.
Oh, what a right hand. Randy, Bobby Joe Young landed a tremendous right hand, and Aaron Pryor is on clear street.
He is shaking. The legs are just
He
quivering.
got counted out. He actually got up, went down to one knee, and got counted out. Unbelievable.
That reminds me of what Jerry Quarry did against George Chuvalo in 1969 at Madison Square Garden. He got decked, he went down, he got up again, then he went down to his knees, and he got counted out. Aaron Pryor did the same thing. His head just wasn't there.
I just wonder if he heard referee Bernie Soto, or like you say, if his head was there. He got hit with a tremendous right hand. He stopped moving in round 6, and he got nailed with a hard right hand, and out he went. Unbelievable.
Well, we were
tremendous victory for Bobby Joe Young.
We had been saying that Bobby Joe could not match Aaron Pryor in speed, but certainly could match him, if not better him, in punching power. And it was some big right hands tonight which did the job in the first round. Aaron Pryor was decked with a right hand, and there the career could have come to an end.
Randy, we said before the fight that Aaron Pryor was going in tough, that he wasn't taking an easy opponent, that it was going to be a tough fight. We called it 100% correct. Bobby Joe Young is one tough kid who can really whack. The opponent may have just been too tough for a man that's been off for 2.5 years and had all the physical and mental problems that Aaron Pryor's been going through. We all know that he's got to go into court in 2 weeks, and he's had, you know, all sorts of problems, and Bobby Joe Young may have been just a little bit too tough. He was no easy opponent. There we see the knockdown again. He comes to his feet. He hears Bernie Soto. Now look, he looks wobbly. He definitely was classy. Bobby Joe Young staying in the neutral corner just as he should. And all of a sudden, Aaron drops to the knee. It looks like he sees Bernie. Bernie is doing what he should have done. He's using his fingers, and yet Aaron never got up. And now Aaron Pryor's corner is starting another ruckus.
Well, this time it's not Aaron Pryor starting it.
Pryor's heading into Bobby Joe's corner.
No, I don't think he's going there for any bad intentions. He knows that he was beaten. Everybody in his corner, that the entourage is a long dislike. I just don't like large entourages, and Aaron's has always been a noisy, rather bullyish kind of entourage. They're trying to start something, but Aaron himself is showing sportsmanship.
Well, unfortunately, Randy, they weren't, you know, keeping the crowd out of the ring, which they really should. I mean, you know, there were just too many people. The ring is filled up with people, and it's sort of tough.
Bobby Joe Young, so tough, as we've been pointing out throughout the night. The wars he's had against Kevin Howard, Darrell Chambers, Nino LaRocco, who pounded him. You were at ringside in Italy. Once again, he was willing to make war. Let's go up to Alan Tour.
The official time, 29 seconds of the 7th round. By a knockout, your winner, Bobby Joe Young. Bobby Joe Young.
Well, there it is, 29 seconds into the 7th round.
Bobby, give her.
And we're going to take another look. It was only seconds into the 7th round, and Aaron Pryor walked out and got nailed, went down, and he went down again, was counted out. We will be back from the Sunrise Musical Theater in a moment. Aaron Pryor, this can't be easy for you. It was a tough night for you. Bobby Joe Young, was he so much tougher than you thought?
No, he wasn't tough. He wasn't tough enough. He was a good opponent. He had a lot of instruments for boxing, but he was a little slower than me for me to have been off as long as I had. Bobby, they shouldn't have stopped the fight. I indicated everything that I could possibly do to indicate that I was all right.
Did you realize that you got knocked down, and when you got up, you went back down to a knee again? Did you realize that?
Yeah, I went down to take an A count. I've learned that sometimes, you know, you indicate that you're all right, and you sit there, both hands are off the ground. As long as both hands are off the ground, he's supposed to reveal, you put the 8 count, and then he...
Did you hear the referee's count?
Yeah, I heard the referee count. He said 7, 8. I stood up on 8, and he counted me out.
Did he say 10?
No,
He didn't count you out. You heard him say 8.
Yeah.
And you felt you were on your feet at 8.
Yeah, yeah.
In the first round, you got hit with the right hand. Which shot hurt you more, the one that dropped you in the first or that last
Yeah, it
one?
hit me in my ear. I got an infected ear from that fight right here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it affected my ear. But he was good and slow and was a good tune-up, and maybe I can get the draw I once wanted in boxing.
Okay, Aaron, what's next?
Oh, man. I'm just going to wait and see. I mean, you know, hey, first time I lost. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Hey, I want to wish Bobby Joe Young a lot of love because he really woke me up and put me on my P's and Q's. I'm not going to retire. I'm going to come back because Bobby Joe.
Aaron, I want to tell you something. You're a real champ coming over here tonight. Good luck in the future.
God bless you.
We'll be back after this.
Start with the winner of the fight, Bobby Joe Young. Bobby, tell us about the right hand that dropped Aaron Pryor in round 1.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me the strength to pull one of the biggest upsets of this decade. And second of all, the right hand that I hit Aaron Pryor with, it was a good shot on the money. I was very surprised he got up. Aaron Pryor, I don't care what anybody said, that man has a lot of heart, and there's a lot left in Aaron Pryor. He took some good shots I hit him with in the course of the fight, and he fought back till finally I just landed the punch that he just couldn't take no more. But he gave it his best.
Well, Bobby, he seemed to give you a lot of motion through rounds 3, 4, and 5, and then you came on and you sized him up in the 6th round, and then you seemed to take him out in the 7th with that hard right hand. Do you think that, you know, you were sizing him up through those early rounds to nail him with the big shot in round 7?
Well, actually, I think possibly what it was, I gave Aaron Pryor a lot more, I gave him a lot of respect. You know, because of the name, and of course, because the way he got up off that was a tremendous punch I hit him with. I put him down in the first round. And so I gave him a little bit of respect, and that's mainly I decided to set him up because he threw a couple half-decent right hands, but, you know, nothing that really put me in trouble.
Bobby, I was going to ask you, how about his punching power? Do you think his reflexes are still there, and do you think he still has a lot of power left?
I tell you, he has a very good counter right hand. Aaron Pryor, every now and then he dropped that right hand and they're good. That was another reason why I really had to take my time to try to size him up. I used the left jab a lot, and that's what mainly kept him off balance because I was hitting him with hard jab. But Aaron Pryor definitely can punch. He can definitely, I think, compete with the best of the junior welterweights. Welterweight, too small.
Bobby, how about the motion? I mean, you know, he kept circling to his left constantly. Did the motion give you problems? Did his constant movement, the in and out, the circling away to the left, did it give you problems?
No, his movement didn't give me too much trouble because if you can see, this is a very small ring. It's not too much bigger than a phone booth. And when I climbed inside, I knew there was going to be a fight because of the size of the ring. So, no, his movement didn't give me no trouble at all.
Bobby, thank you very much. Congratulations once again. Tremendous victory.
Thank you very much.
Back to Randy Gordon at ringside.
Bobby Joe Young is going to be talking all night. And who can blame him? He ended the undefeated record of Aaron Pryor. Don't go away. We still got more. I'm back with former 3-time champ of the world, the legendary Alexis Arguello, a man who knows a little bit about Aaron Pryor. What happened to Aaron tonight?
Well, I think the years that I've been out of so far from the sport and doing wrong things, I think no human body in this world will come back stronger than what he did. He tried, he put his heart into it, but you saw that everybody saw that he's out of distance. He has no vision whatsoever. He has no reflex whatsoever. I think I condemn any commission that allow Pryor to fight again, because it's really, if we really love the sport of boxing, I think we should avoid problems, because this is can be a problem anytime, at any moment.
Let me ask you, do you think the problem with Aaron Pryor was the layoff that he took, or the layoff and mixing it with the drugs and the fast living?
Everything involves, it's really, you cannot mix athleticism or sports with drugs and trying to be a lover boy and being an athlete. You can't play like that.
I got to tell you, you weren't sitting here when I was doing the interview with Aaron Pryor. You were out of ear reach. Aaron told me, and he told the rest of the world, that he will be back. Are you going to try to go up to him and talk him out of it?
Well, I have done it many times. I have tried to tell people that we should be able to perform when we're young and healthy, and when we are getting to the 32, 35, it's better to let it go, because it's really the only people that will get hurt in the end is us. And it's really, we have to make sure that the commissioners are really have the knowledge to do and the principle to do what they're supposed to do to protect the human life, because we're dealing with human beings.
But Aaron Pryor does not respect too many people. He doesn't trust too many people. I know he respects you. I know he trusts you. Are you going to go up to him and say something to him?
Randy, it's not the first time that I've done it, and I wished him good luck before the bell went on for the first round. And when I saw that punch and I saw the way he was moving, I mean, I don't want nobody to sound, I don't want to sound corny or anything, but it's really, you saw it, everybody saw it, that he doesn't have reflex, he doesn't have continuity, he doesn't have nothing. He cannot put punches, he cannot put combinations together, and he tried to do what he knocked me out with that punch, throwing the right foot to the side.
It didn't work anymore,
It didn't work anymore.
Champ, always great seeing you. Thanks for stopping by.
It's a pleasure, Randy.
Well, you've heard from everybody involved. Aaron Pryor, Bobby Joe Young, who beat him tonight, a man who was in with Aaron Pryor, the great Alexis Arguello. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. We are back from the Sunrise Musical Theater. I'm Randy Gordon, along with Harold Letterman. I think I was telling you that in the 7th round, and just as I was saying that, Aaron Pryor came to the end of what I think was a magnificent career.
Well, Randy, you know, before the fight you asked me, you said, Harold, do you think he can do it? Do you think he can make the comeback? And obviously the answer was no. I thought that, you know, maybe I was fooled. I thought that he trained 2 months in seclusion in St. Martin. He trained very, very hard. Everybody said he was going to come back in good shape. And the truth of the matter was that